Hello everyone, welcome again in Engman YouTube channel. So in this video, we will learn about pressure transient analysis in a reservoir that can be modeled with dual permeability model. All right, we will perform the analysis, the pressure transient analysis using Sapphire software. All right, so let's discuss about it. All right, so we start with a simple model like this one. We have well and we have reservoir, which is actually a layered reservoir. We have this one, the first layer, and the second layer. And the well is perforated throughout both the layer 1 and layer 2. And this is important. The permeability of layer 1 is higher than the permeability of the second layer. All right. This is the explanation or description of dual permeability model. So generally, the high permeability layer is considered as the first layer. All right, so this first layer with higher permeability than the second layer permeability is considered as layer 1 or the first layer. And then at early time, there is no pressure difference between the layers, and the system behaves as two commingled homogeneous layers without crossflow. But as the most permeable layer produces more rapidly than the less permeability layer, a pressure difference is developed between the two layers, and thus crossflow begins to occur. All right. All right. This is the model. So at early time, we have production in both the first layer and the second layer. All right. At this time, there is no pressure difference between the layers. But as the time goes, as the first layer with the higher permeability drains the oil or drains the reserve more rapidly than the second layer, there will be pressure difference between the two layers. And that induces, of course, crossflow from the layer 2, which probably has the higher pressure. All right, after the drawdown, the crossflow occur from the second layer to the first layer. All right, so that's the game plan of dual permeability model. We have stratified or layered reservoir with different characteristics. Crossflow occurs between the layers from the layer 2 to the first layer. And within this system, we have several new parameters. The first one is called layer storativity ratio, which is actually fraction of interconnected pore volume occupied by layer 1. All right, so you can see here, V is the volume, and this one, of course, is porosity with this compressibility. All right, so we can call this one storativity. So this omega is actually layer storativity ratio. This is the first important parameter for dual permeability model, omega, which is layer storativity ratio. And after that, we have interlayer flow parameter, which is actually the ability of flow between the layers. All right, this is the formula. So interlayer flow parameter is dependent on, of course, wellbore radius, and of course, the permeability and the thickness of both the first layer and the sum or the total of both layers. All right, so it is the measure of the ability of flow between the layers or the cross flow between the layers. And lastly, we also have kappa. All right, so previously we have lambda. Now we have kappa, which is permeability thickness ratio. All right, this parameter is the ratio of the permeability thickness product of the first layer to the total of both. So it's actually quite similar with interlayer flow parameter, except that it doesn't have this term. All right, so it is actually permeability thickness product of layer 1 divided by permeability product of total of both layers. All right, so this is the description of dual permeability model. From here, we go to our pressure and flow rate data. All right, so this is our data sheet. We have, of course, pressure data and flow rate data. The first one is our pressure data. It has two columns. The first one is elapsed time in hour, and after that, we have pressure in PSIA. All right, this is our pressure data. It is important to set our pressure data in this manner. So we have elapsed time and the pressure itself. This is the plot you can see. So the first period is of course flowing period where the pressure drops from 5,000 initially down to just below 4,800 PSIA. And after that, it is followed by build-up period where the pressure builds up to this point. All right, the last pressure is close to 5,000. So there is a little bit depletion. This is the last pressure after build-up. All right, after that, we have also our flow rate data in duration in hour and oil rate in stock tank barrel per day. We have two periods. The first one is flowing period with duration of 120 hours or 5 days, where our well produces at rate of 1,000 stock tank barrel per day. After that, we have build-up period of 15 days with, of course, zero flow rate. All right, so the duration is 360 hours, and this is our rate data. All right, so we need to input this pressure and flow rate data into the software, and after that, we can perform the analysis. All right, now we go to Sapphire software. All right, now we are in Kappa Sapphire software. First, we select new and recent, blank, and we arrive at this window. Step 1, main document options. All right, you can change it as per your condition. We can go next. Step 2, first analysis, main options and parameters, name, analysis, well radius of 3.6 inches, pay zone of 30 feet, rock compressibility as default, porosity of 20%, and top reservoir depth of 6,000 feet. We go to next. Reference fluid oil. Formation volume factor, B is 1. Reservoir barrel per stock tank barrel. Oil viscosity, 1 centipoise. And total compressibility as per default. We go to next. Step 5, first analysis, numerical parameters, vertical anisotropy. And step 6, all right, wellbore storage constant, well model finite radius, reservoir model homogeneous for the time being, and boundary model infinite. We select create. All right, now we need to load our flow rate and pressure data. The first one is load Q or load flow rate data. We can copy our flow rate data and paste the data here. All right, I've copied my data, and after that, I can just click this one, copy from clipboard. All right, this is our flow rate data. Next. All right, this is important. The time format should be duration. All right, and decimal time in hour, oil rate in stock tank barrel per day. And this is our data. 120 hours and 360 hours. This is the flow rate. Load. All right, the flow rate data has been uploaded. This is the flowing period with flow rate of 1,000 stock tank barrel per day, followed by build-up period with, of course, zero flow rate. And then we continue, load pressure. Again, copy the data from spreadsheet and paste it here. Copy from clipboard. All right, this is our pressure data from spreadsheet. Next. All right, please be careful here. The time format should be points. All right. In flow rate, we have duration as the time format. In pressure, we have points as the time format. All right, decimal time, hour, pressure, PSIA. This is the decimal time in hour. This is the pressure data. All right, so far so good. Load. Skip new data. Apply to all. Okay. All right, the pressure data has been uploaded. This is the flowing period, followed by pressure build-up period. All right, it's perfect. And of course, we can go to extract pressure drop. We click this one, extract delta P. All right, so this is our log plot. Pressure gauge pressure, production data oil rate, production event. We prefer doing the analysis in build-up period. You can also click this one to select either doing the analysis here or here. All right, of course, we prefer build-up period as our area of analysis. So we select this one, close, okay. All right, so this is our log plot, this is our semi-log plot, this is our history plot. This is standard oil analysis. All right, remember we have dual permeability model as our case. So you can see first the log plot. Interesting, right? We have valley here. Okay, first what we can do is we can select this one, tools. We select tools, wellbore storage constant, well model finite radius. All right, and reservoir model. Now we select double permeability or dual permeability. Boundary model, we select infinite. Okay, we select this one, double permeability. Okay, all right, this is our tool. This is our analytical tools. We can use these tools to obtain results from this analysis. All right, we can minimize and right click results in plot. All right, now we can do adjustments and see the results. The first one is, of course, wellbore storage, this straight line. Let's put it here. All right, so our wellbore storage constant, the value can be shown here. And after wellbore storage, now we want to find the area or the interval in which we can extract the permeability information. As you can see, here we can see derivative stabilization, which maybe we can extract radial flow from this period, which means we can get our permeability from this interval. That's why we can locate our horizontal dashed line at this interval. All right, so we can estimate our permeability to be around 220 millidarcies. All right, and permeability product will be calculated because we have imputed the net pay thickness. And after that, we can adjust, we can move this tool to the left or to the right, and you can see the omega and lambda will change, right? The omega and lambda value will change as we move this tool along. We can locate the tool here. All right, you can move it to be like this one, to be like this one. Very easy. Okay, let's say we can locate it here. Okay, so our first guess, the omega is 0.2, lambda is 1.37 times 10 to the power of -8 with kappa close to unity. All right, we can take that. We can take this result as our first guess. All right, after that, we can do refinement. We can do improvement. or we can also do analytical simulation to obtain better results. But the results here will be our first guess. All right, you can also move to be like this one. All right, let's say we are quite satisfied with these results. Minimize. You can see the results is shown in standard oil analysis, the omega, the lambda, and the kappa, right? We can also right click results in plot so that we can see this log-log plot. All right, from this step, we go to analytical simulation. We select analytical. All right. All right, let's say we are quite satisfied with these results. Minimize. You can see the results is shown in standard oil analysis, the omega, the lambda, and the kappa, right? We can also right click results in plot so that we can see this log-log plot. All right, from this step, we go to analytical simulation. We select analytical. All right, the results from the tools that we have done is shown here, right? The wellbore storage, the skin value for the first layer, and also the omega, lambda, and kappa, right? The permeability. To make sure, we can also click this one, reset from diagnostic, to make sure that the results we have obtained from the previous step, which is diagnostic step, can be delivered in this analytical simulation. So we are ready now. We can generate or we can perform the analytical simulation. Generate. All right. This is the results. We can first uncheck the show tools. All right, so this is the results from analytical simulation. All right. You can also see this one, show model. If unchecked, all right. So the results is called model or analytical simulation. All right, so as you can see, we are almost matched, but the quality is not that good. So we need to do refinement or improvement to have better match. Results in plot. This is the results. All right. And what about the semi-log plot? Yeah, it's not that match also, especially in this interval and in this interval. But practically speaking, it is almost matched. Minimize. And the history plot is actually very, very good. We can maximize. Almost matched between the simulation results and the actual data. All right, minimize. Click this one. All right. Now from here, we go to improve. We can easily perform the improvement by just clicking run. Let's see. All right. It has been improved. So the quality of the matching is improved. Yeah, practically speaking, it is matched already. So we can be satisfied with these results. Let's see the result. All right, so the permeability is almost 210 millidarcies. All right. The omega is 20% or 0.2. Okay. The omega is 70% or 0.17. Okay, we can take that. The lambda is 1.7 times 10 to the power of minus 8. Kappa is 0.98. All right, we can take that. And what about the semi-log plot? It is matched. We can tell that, right? History plot. Maximize. All right. Yeah, we can take that. Maximize again. No problem with this difference. It's too insignificant. All right. Minimize the plot. All right, maybe you can also further improve the model if you have certainty in maybe in permeability or in omega or in lambda, you can set the value and you can do adjustment in other parameters. Like, for example, we can select improve again. We go to parameters. Like, for example, let's say we are quite certain that the permeability is 200 millidarcies. We can just input 200 millidarcies here and uncheck this permeability. All right, so the 200 value is locked. And also, let's say we are quite certain that the omega is between 0.01 and maybe 0.1. And most likely value is 0.05, let's say. All right. Okay, let's put it this way. We can run, maximize, uncheck results in plot. All right, we can take that. All right, let's say the results has been good. So we can take these results, right? So the initial pressure, the permeability, the wellbore storage, the skin value, the omega, and lambda and kappa is shown here. All right, so the initial pressure, the permeability, wellbore storage, skin value of the first layer and the second layer, omega, lambda, and kappa are shown here. All right, so far so good. Lastly, we can perform sensitivity analysis. Let's say we want to check omega. We click this one. We just want to try 3 values starting from 0.01. Okay, this is our model value. Okay, and max number is 0.1. Okay. All right, interesting. Right click, legend. You can see the effect of the omega. The bright blue line is omega of 0.01, this one. So the valley will be deeper. And the next one is this one, light blue line, omega of 0.032 is shown by this line. And the red line is omega of 0.1. Yeah, you can see the effect of the omega. So omega will influence our transition. Okay, and minimize. What about sensitivity again? Lambda. You want to try 3 values. 1 times 10 to the power of minus 9. And this one, 7. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can see the influence of lambda. All right. This bright blue line with the lowest lambda, minus 9. You can see the valley, the transition will occur here after quite a long time. All right. Whereas the highest lambda, power of minus 7, is shown here. All right. So the transition will occur earlier compared to the other values. All right. Lastly, we can check the influence of kappa. Let's say from 0.5 to 1. Okay. All right. Interesting. So kappa will influence again the depth of our valley. Kappa of 1, oh, it's weird, but that's okay. Maybe it's due to mathematics behind this analysis. All right. And kappa of 0.5 will give us a short valley like this one. All right, that's all. So in this video, we have learned about doing pressure transient analysis with dual permeability reservoir or double permeability reservoir. We have discussed about the concept. We see the pressure and the flow rate data, and we have performed the diagnostic, the analytical simulation, and we also did improvement or refinement. And lastly, we have performed sensitivity analysis to see the influence of omega, lambda, and kappa. All right, that's all. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope the video is useful. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to your friends. Thank you so much and see you again in the next Sapphire videos. Thank you.